Hey there, comic book fans. It's Rusty again with Collector Auctions, and I want to welcome you back to another one of my new Comic Book Day videos. But this is not your typical new Comic Book Day video today. Today, I've got a special treat for you. Down at Third Eye Comics, where I'm headed right now, they are actually bringing in Kyle Higgins, the creator of Radiant Black, to do a public signing for the release or the return of Radiant Black. Issue number 31 is coming back out. It's been on hiatus for a bit. I'm not even sure for how long, but the new issue is out today, and Kyle Higgins is there to sign it, as well as anything else that you bring. Hopefully, he will sign all the Radiant Black books I've got sitting right here beside me. I've got them ready to go to get signed, but I will also be going down, as I said, it's New Comic Book Day. There are plenty of new books out this week, including some of the new Mark Brooks animated style Marvel books. I want to get some more of those covers, as well as look for some of the ones I missed in the previous weeks. Big day today. Going to go down there early. I don't know what it's going to be like because this is not your typical signing event at Third Eye Comics. There is no VIP line. There's no early admittance. There's nothing. So I have never done one of these evening ones like this. So I think they said it's a lot more laid back, and I hope that's the case. So heading down now. So like normal, I'm going to pick up all my new comic books. I'll come home, bag and board all those. I'll take all the books that I've got signed as well, and I'll put those into fresh bags and boards too, and then we'll do a big show and tell. So stay tuned, and I'll be right back. Yeah, where were you at 11 o'clock today? I'm sorry. We got problems.
I was on an airplane.
Okay, we'll let it go this time.
So if you go ahead and get yourself a black light.
Oh my God.
That's cool, man.
Isn't that fun?
That is tight.
There you go.
Every sign I go to, there's something wrong if you don't have black light.
Oh, that's right. Okay, there you go. That's the black hole. There you go. That's pretty tight.
did. I went and did a big deep dive on it and everything.
Yeah, I'm definitely digging this too.
For sure. Awesome.
Alright. 1, 2, 3. Bam.
No gang signs.
We gotta get our thing too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's gonna come back and do one with us on an upcoming issue.
He's got some time. I mean, he's finished up doing the covers he was doing for Space Ghost. So he's got some time now.
Well, I don't want to speak for him. He's got some stuff going on life-wise.
Any plans at any cons later this year?
Yeah, I'm doing a few. I tend to do like 10 or so shows a year.
Okay.
So I'll definitely be around and out there. I did Baltimore last year for the first time, which was pretty cool.
Yeah, Mark who runs that. He's
Yeah.
a good guy.
Yeah, Mark's great.
That show and the one down at Heroes Con down in Charlotte are they're very much the same. It's very much comic oriented. You don't get a lot of celebrity or Hollywood into it.
Yeah. Yeah, I was really impressed by it last year.
It's fascinating. Now I'm gonna have to go find these markers myself to do this kind of thing.
It's fun. So,
Nice.
there we go.
Yeah, I love it.
That one.
Yeah, if I can get you on the cover.
Sure.
That's so awesome, man. If you don't mind, I'm gonna get you in the Marvel book here.
Yeah, for sure.
And I've got blue if you don't mind on that.
Where do you want me?
If you want to squeeze it in over here, or you can start on the other page, either one.
Sure.
That's perfect. Thank you so much, Kyle.
Of course,
Appreciate
good
it.
to see ya.
All right, guys, I just finished up with the signing with Kyle Higgins here at Third Eye Comics. Had a great time at the signing, got to talk to him for a bit, and I hope you enjoyed some of the footage that I shot while I was getting books signed. I also picked up a lot of new comic books as well because it's still New Comic Book Day. So when I get home, I'm going to bag and board all the new comics, and I'm going to take all the comics out of those blue window bags that Kyle Higgins signed, and I'm going to put them back into regular bags and boards, and we'll do a quick show and tell. So stay tuned, and I'll be right back.
The next day.
All right, everybody, I made it back home, and I took all the new comic books I picked up. I put them in new bags and boards so they'll be presentable and protected as I show them off. I also took out all the books that Kyle Higgins signed and put those in bags and boards as well, so they'll be presentable so you can see them pretty good without all that blue painter's tape that I use when I make those window bags. So let's get right into this. New comic books this week. There were a lot of great things that came out this week, a lot of great artwork. And I also went back and I was trying to find some of those Mark Brooks animated covers that I had kind of missed over the last few weeks. It kind of snuck in under the radar. I saw a few covers last week and I started looking, and literally the 2 weeks prior, I had been missing some of those. So I tried to go back and find some of those on the recent new comic books that had come out that Third Eye still had on the stands, and I was able to find a few of those, but not everything. But let's get right into this. What did I pick up this week? Well, in my pull box is always Amazing Spider-Man, and I've actually been enjoying this 8 Deaths of Spider-Man run. This is number 60, which one is it? 68 Point Death, and it's an in-between issue. I didn't actually think I was going to have this in my pull box because it's normally just the regular title. And even though this is the regular title, it's not a normal numbering sequence. So I didn't think I was going to have it, but it was there. And I was kind of glad that they did, because I read this last night after I got home, and I was looking through it, and I kind of wanted to see what the story was going to be about in this particular issue. And the story is continuing, as I said, with the 8 Deaths of Spider-Man, but the artwork by Mark Buckingham, oh my God, guys. This issue just, it was a throwback to 70s and 80s artwork. This is super strong artwork. Man, I could read this and look at this artwork all day long. I recommend this book. I don't even care about the story. And essentially, it is an X-Men story most of all. Not even hardly a Spider-Man story, but the artwork in there is fantastic. Mark Buckingham needs to be back on a regular basis, but he needs to go to the X-Men to do this title. Oh my God, it was so good. It just blew me away. It's so out of place in today's more character style illustration that's going on up there. It's a lot more cartoony these days. This right here, man, some super strong stuff. I also picked up Hell Hunters. I don't have this as a pre-order right now, but I've been continuing with this book. It's a easy, nice, small book, nothing major. Got some good characters in it. As I said, when the first issue came out, it hit all those really good points that collectors love. You've got first appearances, you got classic characters, and the fact is, I'm reading this mostly because you've got Philip Kennedy Johnson writing this, and he is local in the Baltimore area, and when he showed up at Third Eye and I got him to sign a bunch of his Incredible Hulk books, I became a fan, and I ran into him again in Baltimore at the Baltimore Comic-Con last year, and he actually signed some of his Aliens books as well. So I've been reading books that he's been putting out, including the Hulk, but I've also picked up Hell Hunters, and I've enjoyed that a lot. I also picked up Women of Marvel, She-Devils, and this is one of those one-shots. I didn't get the regular cover. I didn't even get the Peach Momoko cover either, but this Rose, I'm going to mispronounce this, Bish or Birch. It's not even, there's no R in there. What is it? Besh? I'm not even sure. How do you pronounce that? I don't even know. But I really like this Elektra cover right there. So I'm going to save that. This is one of those books. I picked it up for the artwork, but I always have an intent. It isn't just to collect and think it's going to be valuable. I collect this because maybe I'll get to have her sign something someday. And this is a really nice cover. I'd love to get that signed. I also picked up issue 29 of the ongoing Fantastic Four. It feeds right into the One World Under Doom, and I kind of wanted to see what was going on in the Fantastic Four with this storyline. Doom is such an essential Fantastic Four villain, but he's so much bigger these days that he encompasses the whole Marvel Universe, and that's what's going on with One World Under Doom. But I wanted to see how and what was going on with the Fantastic Four, and I decided to go ahead and pick up, and I went back in the back issue, or the recent new comic books, and picked up issue number 28. I had missed that the week when it came out, and I kind of wanted to see what was going on with that, and just an easy read. I just want to find out what's going on. All right, let's put these down. One of the books that I've been picking up recently, I haven't pre-ordered them, but I've been enjoying the storyline, has been the recent Detective Comics here. And you've got the mystery of this new character, Asima. And in this issue, they tease that they may be revealing the identity. We'll find out. I haven't read this yet. But I've enjoyed this new run on Detective Comics. Talking about enjoying a run, and it's been for the last 2 years. And I talk about this all the time on this channel. One of the probably top 3 ongoing titles out there. Do yourselves a favor, pick it up for multiple reasons. It's the writing, it's the art. It's just a good series. It's a throwback. It's a classic character. You've got Conan the Barbarian from Titan Comics. Issue 18 finally came out. And technically, this is not a new comic book for this week. It was supposed to be a new comic book for last week. But a lot of places are having trouble because of Diamond. And the distribution issues are going on. And this book got delayed getting into Third Eye by a week. So it finally came out. I was glad it did. I don't know if I had it pre-ordered, but I think I probably did. But I went ahead and picked it up, and I wanted to read this. This art on the cover was a little bit different than what I've been used to on this run so far. And the interior art, honestly, was not some of my favorite. I'm going to read the name here. Danica Brine, I believe, is doing the artwork. And it's okay. It's fine. But it felt really out of place, especially since you've had such strong art by Roberto Del Torre and Doug Braithwaite. And I hope I'm pronouncing that right as well. This one felt a little off on that. I just didn't feel right. But I was looking ahead to issue number 19, and I cannot wait for that regular cover, first issue of 19. You got Braithwaite back on art, but you got a Roberto Del Torre cover. And I've talked about Del Torre. He is basically reincarnated John Buscema artwork on that, on Buscema. His Conan artwork, it's like it's coming to life all over again. And just a solid title. The writer on this right here continues to be Jim Zub, and he's the driving force on this book, the one consistent thing, and the stories have been fantastic. Highly recommended. I can't recommend it any higher, honestly. All right, ongoing, I did pick up issue number 2 of the Seasons. I kind of enjoyed this right here. It's not the biggest book, anything, but it's just an enjoyable story. You've got the 3 sisters, the Season sisters, and I've enjoyed kind of the artwork. It's a little out there, it's a little abstract, but decent title so far. I'm going to be interested to see where this goes. Big book, I probably should have started with this. The big release this week, I think, honestly, was this right here. We had Red Hulk number 1, and I've already got this pre-ordered, but I went ahead and picked up a copy of the regular cover right here because coming pretty soon to Third Eye is Ben Percy, who's writing this book. And this should be a much bigger book, but it probably should have come out a week ago when the Captain America film came out and you've got the Red Hulk in that. Well, we got the new title here. It plays right into the One World Under Doom. It isn't one of these casual crossovers. It is a pretty big crossover with Doom right there. And I wanted to have this just in case I didn't have it in my order in time before the signing, before Ben Percy shows up at Third Eye. But there's other variant covers. And honestly, I didn't really care for the Frank Miller. I didn't care for the John Romita Jr. It's like, did I really want that? I don't know. But I did kind of like the MCU cover here. I'm going to butcher this name, Ryan Mindering, I believe, is doing the artwork. And I think he's been doing a lot of covers in a lot of Marvel comics. It's from the MCU. And I imagine, you could tell me if I'm wrong on this, but I imagine these are concept designs for the movie. They're actually real. They're not just done for the comic book here, but they were done for the movie, what the concepts look like. And I've seen this on multiple MCU books, but this is the first one that I felt like I wanted to get signed. So pick that up. Another high recommendation right now, and it is not for the story necessarily. Let's put these down. And I think this is on a bi-weekly or a weekly release right now, because I swear to God, last episode I just did was X-Men 11. Well, here's X-Men 12, literally just coming out. And I had to pick this up right here. This right here was Nitho Diaz is doing the artwork in there. And at first, I felt very much like I couldn't tell the difference between the cover artist and the original artist on the new X-Men title here. You've got Ryan Stegman doing the cover right there. But I couldn't really tell the difference too much until I really gave it a shot. And I'm telling you, this Nitho Diaz artwork is really dynamic. And I'm excited to see him grow as an artist on this title. I know he's going to be on there for a little bit. I don't know how long, but right now I'm enjoying the Nitho Diaz artwork on there. And I thought, yeah, I do actually have another copy of that, but I will cover that in another section today. And the other book that I'm really enjoying right now has been Rogue, The Savage Land. It's honestly not so much for the story inside, it is the covers. Fantastic covers. You've got a Carrie Andrews cover right here for issue number 2. But I also picked up the Amanda Connor cover. It's very cartoony, but I do enjoy her artwork. And a really nice J. Scott Campbell cover right there. And that, it's kind of rare. It's a nice close-up of a J. Scott Campbell character. Normally you get the full body. It's a full body shot. It's just this. Honestly, it took me a second to realize that it was J. Scott Campbell, but it is really nice. Love that cover. So those were all the regular books I picked up, but there was one section more that I picked up, and it does cover a lot of different titles in Marvel, and it was Mark Brooks animated covers. And honestly, a lot of these, there's a few in there, the titles, I've already pre-ordered regular covers. I didn't know about the Mark Brooks covers, and I don't know. First I wasn't going to get into it, and then I was going, wow, these are actually kind of nice. There's something to them I really like. I'm a fan of the animated show for X-Men, but it went beyond just X-Men. But let me show you what I picked up. And it isn't all from this week. It is from the last couple of weeks, because I went back on the back issue stands trying to find some of the ones I missed. And there are some out there that they didn't have, so I'm going to have to see if I can order them. But they did have Captain America and Volstagg right here. It is a beautiful Captain America and Black Widow right there. And who am I kidding? It's the female character designs on these that are probably more entertaining than the male characters, but I do enjoy the covers nonetheless. We had the Mighty Thor, or I'm sorry, the Immortal Thor. This one I think was either a week or two old anyway, but we've got Valkyrie with Thor right there. Psylocke was a week or two ago as well. We got, of course, Psylocke, and you got the Beast right there. This was out this week. Sabretooth, The Dead Don't Talk, number 3. You got Mr. Senator and Sabretooth. And as I said, I did pick up another X-Men number 12 with Nitho Diaz doing the art, but I did pick up the Xavier Magneto cover right there. That's pretty cool. And I'm running out of room again, guys. A lot of new comic books this week. I did pick up the West Coast Avengers. You got Hawkeye and Ultron right there. Not my favorite Ultron design. And lastly, the last new comic book I picked up was the issue number 5 of Iron Man. And you've got the Wasp with Iron Man right there. And you've got the Wasp in one of my favorite suits that she had. And you know the Wasp, Janet Van Dyne, had so many suits. It's almost like every issue she would be coming up with new designs and everything. And this was a favorite of mine at that time. And in fact, I don't think they've changed it much since they got to this design. But nonetheless, great covers. I don't know. These are things that I'm just fun. And wow, I'm buying comics because they're fun, not because I'm worried about the collectability. I'm not worried about the value or anything like that. Just fun covers. I actually enjoy that a lot. So old school comic book collecting right there. All right, so that was it for all the new comic books that came out this week, except for one. But what did I say? I went down there and you saw some of the footage at the signing with Kyle Higgins, who was there for the launch of, or the relaunch of Radiant Black, and with issue number 31. And that's what I did. I got issue number 31 picked up. Of course, I haven't read this yet. In fact, I hadn't read this in, well, over probably close to a year or two. I kind of stopped around issue 13. I was enjoying it, but there was something at the time I wasn't enjoying the artwork as much. Going back, I'm actually, wow, actually it wasn't bad. The artwork all along has been really good. It's just at the time I just wasn't feeling it. It felt like every issue looked the same, and I guess I didn't give it as much of a chance, even though I was collecting it. But Kyle Higgins signed issue number 1. It's a little hard to see where it's up there in silver. So let's start from the beginning. I ended up getting the number 1 issue here by Michael Cho, and you can see Michael Cho's autographs is already down here. Where is it? Right there. And Kyle Higgins, literally, most of the time he was really good about signing good stuff, but signed in black right there in the dark area. So I don't know what that was about. But I did get 2 copies of that. He signed in the exact same spot on both of them. And what was weird was he was really good with the person before me about making sure the colors popped and things like that. I think, honestly, when he see me come in there with all my books already pre-bagged, there's probably a predisposition that I am a dealer and I'm trying to protect the books. Well, I do sell books, but these books aren't necessarily getting sold. I just want to care about my books. I don't want them damaged, and I do it to protect it. And it isn't just for the artist to protect the books. It's for me not to accidentally bump them while I'm holding them and getting them ready to hand over to the artist. But you can't explain that. But I think that he didn't take quite as much time with me as he did the first person in line, and care about the autographs quite as much. Now, he did a little bit. I can't say too much, but I don't know. I could be my own worst enemy sometimes. But I also got issue number 1. This is the second printing. You can see signed down there at the bottom. And I'm going to go through these fast at this point because I know the show's getting long. Let's go. We did issue number 2. And then you can see it down there at the bottom. And I didn't have this issue, but I actually went back into, as I keep talking about, the new comic book back issue wall where they keep a lot of the comic books. I went back to the Radiant Black section, and they had an issue number 3. It's one that I had missed. And I'm going to take them out of here, guys. But you can see he signed right there in silver. The silver paint pen was working really well. I had 2 different covers for issue number 4. He signed right there in the middle. And this one, issue 5, issue 6, issue 7 right there. That one looks really good right there. There's issue number 8. And it's a little hard to see, but he did silver right there. It looks better in person. And then this one right here is the one he actually took some time on. He was really into blacklight. And this cover right there, and I cannot duplicate it here, but on this cover he took blacklight markers that show up on white as clear. They look clear, but if I put this under blacklight, these characters would be glowing in different colors. And I think he has a stamp as well that has the Radiant Black symbol on there as well. And I think he stamped that on here, but I don't have a black light to be able to show you, so you'll just have to take my word on that. And then issue number 10, I had 2 of those. This is the regular cover, and then they had this is a black light cover as well. And the first person in line got him to sign this, and he took a lot of time with this cover. He had very neon color markers as well as some of the blacklight markers that he did, and he put colors all over this for him. He didn't do a thing on this one for me, but again, I think I probably had too much. As you can tell, I have a lot of books. They didn't necessarily have limits on this signing because this was a more casual signing at night. There was not as many people, probably a third as many people as there were for the last signing for Charles Soule and Ryan Brown. And they didn't have a paid VIP line or anything like that. So it was very much casual, so I didn't mind giving them more books. But let's see, what else? Issue number 12. Now, I don't have number 11, so I didn't have that. And then the last issue of the original run that I had on this, before I stopped it, was issue number 13. And at that point, that was all the books for Radiant Black I had. But as I said, I went back and I found in the back issues, issue number 3, and I was going through it. I was thinking about picking up some of the recent issues. I was just looking at some of the other ones. I could have literally picked up most of the comics I still had missed from issue 13 up to 30. But I'd already had too much to get signed, so I wasn't going to do that. But I did pick up issue number 29 and 29.5 because it's got this beautiful connecting cover right there. And he signed it kind of in the middle. You can barely see it on that silver right there where my fingers are right there. Right there. But that was super cool to get the variant connecting covers right there. But again, that was the end of the Radiant Blacks. He did also sign Supermassive number, this is, I shouldn't say number, but 2022. I didn't have 2023, but I did have 2024. And he signed it down there at the bottom, right there. And then lastly was the big Image. What is this? It's 2022. It was the Image 30th Anniversary Anthology. And there's a lot of different artists and creators in this. So this is one of those ones. I dug it out. I'm going to use it as a jam piece. If I had some forethought, I would have looked. I think Jason Aaron actually has a story in here, and I should have gotten him to sign that, but I'll save that for future signings with other artists. But guys, that is everything that I got signed. Oh, except for one thing. I was the second person in line, and they gave out a free item for the first 5 people in line. I was number 2 because I was off on Wednesday. I was traveling back in town, and I had all the time in the world to get down there early, and I did go down there early to pick up all of my new comic books before the signing, before it got crowded. So I was in there early, and a friend of mine, Mike, was already in line, so I was number 2, and he held my place while I went around the store and picked up all my new comic books, but I was still number 2 even though other people showed up. The first 5 people in line got this beautiful print right here. It is the cover to issue number 1, the regular cover. I never had this, but this is signed by Cal Higgins. It's the relaunch. It says, return launch signing with writer Kyle Higgins. And again, this was the original number 1 cover that I never did have. I liked that Michael Cho cover so much more than this right here. So that's why I never bothered with this one. But that was super cool to get that signed, as well as all these books. Tons of stuff here. Fun day, fun new comic book day. It was really crowded by the time I left. It wasn't as crowded as a normal signing, but a lot of people there. Had a great time talking with a lot of different people. So thank you, Third Eye, for putting on another great event. I look forward to the next signing event that's there. Anyway, guys, that's it for today. Definitely leave me a comment in the comment section below. Let me know what you think about all the comic books I picked up today, as well as all the comic books I got signed. And if you enjoy this kind of content, definitely hit that like, slap the subscribe, and click on that notification bell so you guys don't miss out on any of the content that I put out each and every week, Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 3 p.m. All right, guys, I'm out of here. I'll see you on Friday. Hope to see you here for the live chat. Until then, remember, every comic has a story.